Okay, frets are in. Let's get this baby glued onto the fretboard. I mean, to the neck. This is the fretboard. Duh. Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Work Guitars. Today I'm going to try to get the fretboard glued onto the neck for the 0028 build. Got the frets put in it yesterday, and this is ready to be glued together. This neck has been sitting around a little while, so we just want to make sure that it's straight still and nothing weird has gone on with it, because sometimes after they sit around a bit, they tend to move around a little because of it's made out of wood, and wood does that, unfortunately. Dimensional stability is always tricky with wood, so it's important to just make sure that everything's still flat and still straight while we try to glue things together. My nose is just, hold on, straight edge out here. I thought it would be a really good idea to hang all these straight edges like that in two piles. And what happens is I'm constantly having to move one to the other. I need more of a spread out situation there, but that'll work for the moment. So we just want to throw this straight edge up on here. We want to make sure everything is flat in all ways, and everything is looking good. Right now I'm just checking to make sure there's no twist, right? Don't want any twist in it. And I think everything looks good. I'm just going to take this sanding beam and run it across here just a little bit, just to clean things up very lightly. And I want to go this way. The reason I'm going this way instead of this way is if there is any bit of a bow in there, I'm not just following the bow along with it. This will touch the high points of anything. It looks really straight anyway though, so I'm not too worried about it. So now we just need to make sure that the truss rod fits properly. This is our truss rod, a little hot rod truss rod, little fella. That goes in here. I've already cut the grooves for everything. Just want to make sure that all still fits right. Right down in there. It's tight, but that's all right. That's what we want. Push it down real good. I think we're good. We want to make sure that it's not sticking up too high or anything, causing any problems. And everything looks good. That looks good. And Philip was asking where he would access the truss rod, and right there. I do these little ports right here. And you use the 4mm. I use a 4mm tool, and it just fits right down in there perfectly. If you can, it's good to get one that has this little ball tip on it like that, because it gives you a little bit of an angle. You don't have to go straight in. You can go in at a little bit of an angle if you want to. You still get a really good bite on your truss rod, because you don't have to do too much anyway, just like turn here and there. But that makes this neck very adjustable, and we're good to go. I believe we can go ahead and glue this fretboard on. I didn't move the camera over. So like I was saying, I have these little 5mm wooden dowels that I like to put in the neck. Make sure there's no dust in there. And don't lose them, because they'll disappear. Put those back in. These are tricky to get in. Tricky. make sure everything goes back where it's supposed to go, like that. Let me just make sure that this is getting a good joint all the way down. Those dowels aren't holding us up. That looks good. That looks good. I'm just trying to make sure that I got a good tight joint right through there, you know. Making sure that everything's fitting flat. And there's one little spot right here where it looks like I got a little bit of a dip. So I'm gonna work on that for a minute. Dowels back out. One little low spot right there. So I'm gonna work on that for a second and get that straightened out, and I'll be right back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of silicone underneath this truss rod. I feel a sneeze coming on. And what that's gonna do is, just in case this wood shrinks a little in time and seasons change and so on, there'll be a little bit of a cushion underneath of it to keep it from rattling. So we don't want that to happen. It's very, very, very doubtful that it ever will, but I feel like just a couple of drops of silicone up underneath the truss rod is the way to go. Drop there, and then drop down in there like that. Push this down in it. There we go. And that seals that in there real well. That's a really nice fit. Fits down there perfectly. And get this back in place. I think this will work here. Yeah, that'll work. Just tilt this around a little like that. Put this over here, like this. Tilt this a little around like that. Now we got a good support all the way across there. Nothing's bending, nothing's moving. That's what we want right there. That works good, this little vise here on this little piece here. Let me get you around here so you can see this. This works pretty well. Hold on. So I've got this little vise and I've got this board here that has a little dip in it with some of that felt on top. And these two can work together now and support each other, and I have this nice little support system. Nothing's in my way, and I know that it's being supported well, and I can work on the top of this neck like this. There's just this one little low spot right here where the neck moved slightly that I'm not happy with, so we're going to work on it for a minute. Thought I had it, but I didn't. Not worried about going across the grain because I'm not staining this. This is getting glue on it. And that's not going to hurt a thing. The glue does not care. So I'm just holding it back here, moving it back and forth. And all that's doing is moving straight back and forth across this neck here, like that, flattening it. And you can come back and do this if you want to. I think we got it that time. Looks like we did. Here's a couple more times. And because we're using this heavy duty sanding beam, this thing's not bending. We're getting a nice flat sand across there. Nice and flat. That's what we want. Get some of the dust off. So I'm really liking the new vise setup. That's working out really well. There's a lot of things I can do here. Clamping things to this in tandem with this. And this vise over here, I have all these different ways of clamping things together. You know, having them in a vise so that I can easily control how I work on them. And man, I'm really happy I did that. I put it off for a long time because you get out in the shop and you feel like, well, I gotta work on guitars, And you do, but sometimes you gotta stop and get your shit together. Can you say that on YouTube? All right, let's see. That's what I'm looking for right there. Now it's nice and flat all the way across. I don't have any weirdness going on. Put some tools away before we start something else, so they're not in my way. Gotta remember to put your tools away. That way you don't have to fight with them. I don't think that was necessary. Come on, man. What's up with that? All right. Get that out of the way. Let's see if the vacuum bag will work for the acoustic guitar necks. It worked really well. The other day I did some necks like this with a big long scarf joint. Can you see that? See that big long joint there? Straight across there, right? And these two dowels are in there to keep it from slipping, because obviously that's a wedge going across there. And so I just put these two dowels on the outside that'll be cut off to keep it from moving, and I put it in the vacuum bag and it worked really well. Glued that scarf joint right together. Now this will allow me to do, you know, this style of neck with the headstock tilting back, which I prefer to the flat ones, but you know, it takes a lot of wood to do this like this, and really good maple, especially thick maple, is not really easy to get. So this allows me to use 5/4 quarter sawn hard maple. I can get a good quarter sawn neck. So you can see all the grain running straight. This was my test piece and it worked really well. So I'm really happy with that. Did that in the vacuum bag. So works great for that also. Today we're going to see how it does for acoustic necks. I'm really happy with the way this is working out. I just realized the other day, if I'm making bags for necks, I don't need to leave it open like this in a tube. I can seal one end. I can go ahead and seal one end up like a bag, you know, a real bag, not the tube. Then I only need one clamp on the end. I don't need 2 clamps. So that's an option also. I'll save a little bit of money on these. And yeah, working good. And get my little piece of netting out of there. Let's put this on here with no glue, a little piece of tape, just to hold it in place for a moment, and stick it in the bag and see what it does. I think what we're going to have to do is go sideways, like this. And that way I can make sure everything comes in this way and doesn't over stress something before it gets too carried away. Let's just give it a test run here. Seal up this end. That. And we'll seal up this end. See what happens. Pump running. Okay. Let it suck most of the air out before I really put the pressure to it. Make sure that nothing's stressed. Yeah, I'll pull a lot of the air out. I haven't even really put the pressure to it yet. Now let's see what happens. That should be full pressure right there. And that looks like that'll work just fine. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hold on. One thing that'll happen when you use vacuum bags, if you don't give it a way to breathe, it'll suck the bag together and close it off. That's why you need to have netting in there. And I forgot to put the netting in. Let me get some netting in there. Just stick it right there. I think that'll work right there. Right there. Right, start the pressure to it. Okay, I got pressure on it, and it looks like it's stressed out. It's not bent or anything. I think that works, man. Looks like it works great. Let's put some glue on it and get that fretboard glued on this neck. And that'll be it for today for this guitar. Then I have to start doing some assembly work while we let this dry. Already got the neck joint cut. I was going to do a video for that, but it was really difficult to film it. You know, using the way I film things. But I may be able to get a small video put together of how that goes together. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But we can do this today though. So let's get some glue on this and get it done. the glue on here. A little piece of that. Have that ready to go. Some tape on there just to hold it in place while I'm shifting it around, so nothing gets weird on me. Right? And I want to put a little piece of tape right inside there where the nut goes. Try to keep it as clean as possible, because it's really difficult to clean the glue out of that slot. Try to stay as clean as you can. There we go. All right. Like it. Okay, we want to make sure before we put the pressure to it, we've got everything up here like that, inside that way like that, so there's no bending anything. We'll hit it with the pressure. We'll just make sure everything's good before we walk away. We got a little good joint here. Right, there we go. It works for acoustic guitars too. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll just clamp it right here. It'll do what it does. That's that right there like that. And we can truthfully, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, say that the fretboard is glued down. Beautiful. Okay, that's all we're going to do right now. We'll be back though Thanks for watching the building of the 0028. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to get to work on this beautiful Starliner back behind you here. Hang on, let me grab it. The tuners came in today for this. This is a 7-string Starliner, our Starliner model. 7 strings. This neck is huge. Jump, 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 jump. Right? Nice gold hardware is here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it on. All right? You guys have a good evening, or morning, or whenever it is that you watch this. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you out there somewhere. Peace. Work guitars.